Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. Three things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. You, yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. We are shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. When the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves. Thousands of candles can be lighted from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared. No one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path. The mind is everything. What you think you become. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship. It is better to conquer yourself than to win 1,000 battles. Then the victory is yours. It cannot be taken from you, not by angels or by demons, heaven or hell. To keep the body in good health is a duty, otherwise we shall not be able to keep our mind strong and clear. To enjoy good health, to bring true happiness to one's family, to bring peace to all, one must first discipline and control one's own mind. If a man can control his mind, he can find the way to enlightenment, and all wisdom and virtue will naturally see. There are only two mistakes one can make along the road to truth: not going all the way and not starting. It is better to travel well than to arrive. You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger. Just as a candle cannot burn without fire, men cannot live without a spiritual life. What we think, we become. It is a man's own mind, not his enemy or foe, that lures him to evil ways. Do not overrate what you have received, nor envy others. He who envies others does not obtain peace of mind. Hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. This is the eternal rule. Even death is not to be feared by one who has lived wisely. We are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. Unity can only be manifested by the binary. Unity itself and the idea of unity are already two. The only real failure in life is not to be true to the best one knows. Just as treasures are uncovered from the earth, so virtue appears from good deeds, and wisdom appears from a pure and peaceful mind. To walk safely through the maze of human life, one needs the light of wisdom and the guidance of virtue. Work out your own salvation. Do not depend on others. Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. With fools, there is no companionship. Rather than to live with men who are selfish, vain, quarrelsome, and obstinate, let a man walk alone. I was born into the world as the King of Truth for the salvation of the world.